Morning, Southwest Montana. I'm Jane McDonald, and we are joined by Jonathan Amberian. Now, he is MTN's senior political reporter. Jonathan, great to have you on Montana this morning.
Thanks, Jane.
Absolutely. Now, there is a lot to discuss during this election season, a lot that we could get into. But what I really want to focus on for this next 3, 4 minutes are those constitutional initiatives that Montanans are going to be seeing on their ballot this year. Now, one of which is really taking a big national impact. But first, before we get into that abortion one, let's first focus on, I believe it's CI 126 regarding the primary elections, Jonathan.
Yes, that's right. And I should mention that there's two initiatives, CI 126 and 127, which both make changes to the election system. And they're sort of a pair. They're sponsored by the same group, although there's certainly been a lot more attention on CI 126 than 127. So CI 126 would, as you said, change the state's primary elections. The supporters of the initiative call it their proposal an open primary, which is maybe a little bit ambiguous because what we have currently, some people call an open primary, because currently in Montana, people go down to vote or they get their absentee ballot and they have 3 different or 4 different party ballots in their hand, and they're allowed to pick one of those party ballots and vote on that. So they can pick any party they want, but they have to vote all on the same party's primary for all the races down the line. And what 126 would propose to do is to take all the candidates from all the parties, put them on one ballot, and then you can vote for any of those candidates in any of those races. And then the top 4 vote getters in each of those races would go on to the general election. It's something that they just started doing in Alaska a few years ago. And then CI 127 is sort of goes along with it, and it would say that in the general election, whoever wins would need to get at least 50% of the vote. Right now, of course, you only need to get the most votes, even if that's less than 50%. And so the idea would be that if both of those were to pass, then you would have the 4 candidates on the general election ballot, and then one of them would need to get at least 50% of the vote. And there are a couple of proposals how they could do that. It would leave it up to the legislature to decide exactly how it would happen, but it might be through a runoff system or maybe through a ranked choice voting system if that was something that the legislature was interested in.
Sure. Now, let's move on to CI 128. Now, Montana is one of a handful of states all across the nation that has abortion on the ballot this year. Tell us a little bit about maybe the historical context leading up to this. Was this something that you personally, as kind of the Montana political expert here, anticipated being on the ballot this year?
Well, the first thing that we need to make clear is that it's come the abortion issue has come on a lot of state ballots in the last 2 years after the Dobbs decision that reversed Roe v. Wade and sent the abortion issue back to the states. And in Montana, there was no real immediate change when that decision came down because in Montana we have what's called the Armstrong decision, a Montana Supreme Court decision from 1999 that said that abortion fell under Montana's constitutional right to privacy. And so when the Dobbs decision came down, no immediate change in abortion access in Montana. And what happened here was that groups like Planned Parenthood of Montana and the ACLU of Montana are supporting this proposal, CI 128, which would put a specific protection of abortion access, the right to abortion, in the Constitution in explicit language. And they say that it's needed because leaders, especially Republican leaders in the legislature, have proposed a lot of tighter restrictions on abortion, and they feel that there's what they call political attacks against abortion in the state. And so what the opponents of it are saying is that they see the language of 128 as expanding or being more expansive than what's in the Armstrong decision, and that it would make it even harder for them to put regulations on abortion that they feel that people want. But what supporters say is that this is a way to ensure that it's protected, abortion access is protected, and that, again, pushing back against what they see as political attacks, politically motivated attacks.
Now, I mean, we could continue talking about all three of these constitutional initiatives for a great length of time. Jonathan, I'm going to let you go here. We sure appreciate you taking the time to break these down for us. If you want to see any more of Jonathan Amberian's covering on all these initiatives, plus other statewide, national-wide races, you can head over and check out our website. Thank you again, Jonathan, for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Jen.
Absolutely. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Matt's going to have a look at that forecast for you.